Hi friends, welcome back to another Pick a Card Tarot reading. My name is JP and this is JUNODROME Tarot. So today we are going to be doing a reading asking, what does the universe need you to know? There's important information that the universe is trying to get to you. This reading will reveal what specifically the universe is trying to say to you. So take a look at these piles. We have pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. Decide which pile is calling out to you. It doesn't matter which one, just at the back of your mind you'll know, and a hint of a message within you of which one is the right one. Whatever that little tiny hint of a message is, that's the one to go for. So choose that pile that's jumping out to you. Down in the description section of this video, you can find a link to your reading. Just click on that. It'll take you to the chapter in the video with your reading. If you need more time to decide which pile is for you, you can either pause this video, or there is a chapter at the very end of this video with an extended card selection time. So go ahead and click on that for an extended amount of time. Then you can pick your reading that way. Either way, I will catch you in your reading. Down in the description section of this video, you will find a link to pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Catch you there. Bye. Hi there, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be your reading for what does the universe need you to know? The universe has a direct message that it is trying to communicate to you. This reading will give you some clarity on what that message actually is. Let's take a look. You chose the pile with this excellent jasper. I believe this is red jasper. Beautiful stone. I love red jasper. So calming, so grounding. Maybe there's some grounding information coming into this, or we're grounding the universe into this reading. What does the universe need you to know? It needs you to know that you are still a student at your passions, and that is okay, right? The universe is inviting you to take a student mindset, a student approach to your life and your situation right now. In particular area towards the things that really interest you, either creatively or the things that you're really passionate about. I think that maybe, it's really easy to get lost in feeling as though you have all the answers and that nothing is working. If you've been trying a lot of different things and nothing is really stuck and you're feeling like I don't even know anymore. If you're getting into that energy here, the universe is coming in to let you know, like, hey, look at this. It's okay to not understand what to do next. It's okay. You don't need to know everything that's happening. You can take a student approach to your life and your situation here towards your inspirations. You don't need to know. And the thing about the student energy, right? Having a beginner's mindset, and this is kind of encouraging you to take a beginner's mindset, even if you've been working for a long time at something, that can get a little bit frustrating, right? Because we just want to be further ahead than we are sometimes, and that can be a tough thing to hear. But the thing about the beginner's mindset is it actually opens up far more possibility into your life and into your situation if you admit to yourself that you don't know everything and you don't know everything that's going on and you don't have all of the answers and all of the directions. It's okay, especially like if you've been on this planet for a moment like I have, I mean, I'm not that old, but I'm definitely getting older. If you're like me in that sense, it can feel a little bit frustrating to get this message of like that you don't know enough, and that can feel really frustrating. But it's important to not let that approach be a part of this, right? Because you can be a beginner in one area and be an expert in a different area. And that's really important to remember, that even if you're being encouraged to say, I don't know, in this instance, and it is for whatever this is feeling like it's calling you towards, you'll know what this is about. But whatever that thing is, it can feel a little bit frustrating sometimes to be told that we don't know as much as we thought we did, but ultimately though, it's okay to learn new things. It's okay to learn from a new perspective. And I've got some signs outside my window confirming that, confirming messages there. So there is real importance in being open-minded here. You're encouraged to be open-minded, to understand that maybe you don't have all of the answers. You really are being encouraged to take a student perspective in this situation, because it's okay to not have all of the answers, right? We expect ourselves in life sometimes to just know everything, to know how things are supposed to go, to know what things are supposed to be. And I think the older that we get, the more pressure we feel and put on ourselves to have all of the answers, to say, okay, no, I'm supposed to know what to do right now, and I just don't know how to make that happen in a better way. But in reality, though, sometimes it's okay to not know, because that allows room for the universe to bring you in different things that you could never even imagine. And I think that's one of the biggest points of this reading. The universe wants you to know that there's so much more available to you out there. And I think as soon as you start to do that here, you are going to feel really victorious, and that by embracing this, you know what? I just don't even know. It's a bit of a let go energy you're being encouraged to take on here. You really are, because I think that you've been operating subconsciously from this place of like, no, I need to know what to do, because I have to be in control, and I have to make this happen, and I have to go and push and do and pull and all of those things. I have to, right? And so, yeah, the problem with that is that after a while, it can really start to grate on your soul, this pressure of needing to build it, needing to make it work, needing to put it together, needing to make that happen. But as soon as you start to let go and be like, you know what, I don't even know. I don't even know. It's okay. I don't need to know. All I know, I have the basics down here. I am stable. I have my stability, and I don't know exactly what the next path is. That's okay. I think as soon as you start to do that, I think that this imbalanced energy that you're feeling will be alleviated. And I think that there's this like, oh, kind of like relaxation energy that you kind of fall into when you do this move. And that relaxation energy is going to make you feel victorious. So it's like the insights will come when you take off the pressure and take off the heat on yourself to be totally like in control of everything. And in fact, you have the ability, once you do that, to feel like totally like, yes, okay, I understand now. I get what's happening. I get how to move forward. I understand what this means. I don't have to feel so distraught on the inside here. I can feel a little bit at ease now about myself. And I think, that kind of energy as well, I think it'll help you alleviate any kind of like emotional difficulties here. And I think we're being given a little bit more insight into maybe like where this change is coming from, because there is a change that you're being encouraged to do with this mind shift too. The student energy, the student mind is curious and deeply curious. And sometimes in life, we can lose our childlike curiosity. It's really easy to lose, especially it just comes from going through it. When you go through challenges and difficulties in life, you end up building this subconscious barrier towards joy, even sometimes, right? It can happen. It's easy to happen. You don't have to feel bad about that or put yourself down about it. It can happen to everybody. And so, sometimes because of that, we build up this sense within us of a lack of possibility. It's super easy, to get this nihilistic, nothing will ever work again, nothing is possible outlook on situations. But the universe is trying to come in here and let you know, like, no, that is not the truth. And it is time for you to build in a new perspective, to cut away that negative voice inside you telling you that you can't do something or that something is impossible. Or, in your case, I think sometimes too, oh, I have to have everything figured out before I can take the first step. I have to have an entire 5-year plan before I can even make the first move. When in reality, it's like you're not going to know what the 5-year plan is. You know, you can't know yet. You have to be open to experimentation and trial and error and learning how to do this. You know, you have to learn how to do this thing, and that's okay. Sometimes learning how to do something, it takes energy, it takes grit, it takes that's kind of a lame word. I'm not trying to bootstrap you here, friend. That's not what I'm doing. But it takes time, it takes energy to learn how to even do things a little bit, So it's sort of like you're really being encouraged, like don't give up on this thing. It's time to learn how to do it from a new point of view. It's time to change your perspective so that you can really dive into this from a place of real possibility, that you do have real possibility here. I think it's going to come in a way that's different. And yeah, I think as soon as you start to do that, here, actually, I'm going to put this in reverse. It was in reverse. I'm reading reversals this reading, I suppose. Um, as you do this, I think that you being afraid of like where the money's coming from, I think can be alleviated from this as well. I think that's a big part of this too, is like you just don't know, in that stability sense, whatever this is about, there is, I think, maybe a feeling of like, am I even going to be stable? But I think that it's like, if you embrace this student energy here, I think you can become the student of your own stability as well, like learning that it is going to work out, that you do have the possibilities here, that just because you don't have the next step doesn't mean you can't, protect yourself or build from a place of stability, right? Nobody's telling you to throw everything away here. I think that's a big part too, that even if you have a new mindset and a fresh eyes at whatever this is, that doesn't mean you have to throw everything away that you've already done. And I think that maybe there's some fear of that here. You don't have to do that. You don't have to throw everything away. I think that you're actually building from a place of understanding from what's already come before you. And so because of that alleviates this burnout energy, and I think that maybe, a part of this nihilistic feeling of like you don't know how to move forward is come from burnout in the past. So I think, and that burnout I think has come, and we'll see if it pops up here, but I'm definitely feeling some Ten of Wands energy from this reading. I think that the burnout has come from a place of trying to do it all yourself, and trying to do things that, the universe can work with you in that, like, you don't have to have it all totally figured out in order to make the small steps happen. But it's like you're trying to calculate every little tiny step, when in reality the universe is this massive quantum computer that can calculate things far more densely and complexly than you and your own mind could ever do, right? And so it's sort of like that there's this aspect to this reading where, by giving up the control of this, of controlling, like needing to control the direction, needing to control yourself through this process, right? That it feels like you're really being controlling on yourself, of like, you must do it this by this time, in this way, in this aspect. And if it doesn't work out this way, you have to work extra hard and you have to do this, these things you're telling yourself here, I think are maybe leading to this burnout energy. And so this new approach that you're being encouraged to take is one that's far more compassionate towards yourself. I think you really, really are being encouraged by the universe to show yourself far, far, far more compassion. You're putting on way too many burdens on yourself that any one person could be able to handle. And so you got to understand that, try to treat yourself like you're your own employee, especially if this is some kind of business related situation here. It isn't necessarily for everybody, but I think it is for some people. You got to treat yourself like an employee. How would you treat your employees? How are you legally mandated to treat your employees? And think about it that way. Even if you, depending on what kind of employee you are, I hope you are a good one, but you never know, I guess, with some people. But, how are you legally mandated to treat your employees? Are you treating yourself to those rigorous work safety standards, right? That's important. Are you pushing yourself too much? Are you pushing yourself more than you could expect another person to be pushed, right? And of course, I think it's much easier to push ourselves than it is to push other people, clearly. But you are human, and that means you do have a limited capacity, and you are in need of resting, and you are in need of recuperating your energies. And if you do push too hard, then you will fall. I mean, that's just a part of life, and that's okay. You can, even if you do that, you can always pick yourself back up. But I think that this is a transformation in understanding that you are running the marathon and not sprinting, right? That there is no sprint to the finish line here, because the way that what it is you're working on and you're building, it requires you to be able to have long-standing stamina, I feel like. And so, yeah, sure, you can sprint to one goal, but then it's just going to be the next goal you got to sprint to, and then another one you got to sprint to over and over again. And then that's how you lead to the burnout energy. And so there's a sense here of really kind of embracing this outlook that you have limited capacity in the moment, but in the long term, you have unlimited possibility, right? And so if you push things out to the long term a little bit more and understand that you can take things one small step at a time as you build, I think then you really start to build up a sense of resilience within yourself and a sense of habit, and then these things become this positive habit feedback loop instead of this grinding, must complete procrastination energy kind of feel, like procrastinate and then rush, and then procrastinate and then rush, crash and burn energy. And yeah, I think with that, it is really, that's funny, these came out together. You've got the 8 and the 7 of Pentacles. That, ultimately what the universe is trying to share with you is learning how to build a positive work relationship with yourself, a positive work relationship with life, because this is a long term, I think what you end up doing here is building a long term process for yourself in creation, whether this is creative or this is business or this is whatever, creativity takes many forms. We all human beings have creative ability. It's not just artistic ability, right? Whatever this is, there is a sense here that as this is learning how to have a positive work ethic, a positive work ethic that is long term, that could last years and years and years and years of your life of building more, way far more than trying to reach some small plateau or trying to do everything by age whatever, or any of those time limits or concerns that you might be putting on yourself. That is not conducive to building the kind of big thing that you're trying to build here. It takes longevity, it takes resilience, and of course there's going to be ups and downs in this. I think that's huge. Not everything's going to work out all the time. Things might work one way for one moment, and then it might all change tomorrow, and you might have to change and adapt. But if you build this positive work relationship and resilience within yourself, and this long form, think of this as the long term. This is the universe is really encouraging you to think long term about your goals, about your projects, about your situation. This is not a short term gains place that you're in anymore. This is a long term build, slow, long, progressive building, because that's the kind of thing that stays long term, not even just beyond you even. This is something that stays for generations. That's how you build these long lasting generational things. And, our world is in such a chaotic and destructive place right now because none of us are thinking long term. And so the universe is trying to get us to start building the pyramids again. You know what I mean? Like really, like these long-term multi-generational projects where we can all together create something that 6 generations from now they can live in this like incredible wonderful prosperity beyond ages. Like that's the kind of thing we have to start thinking about, these crazy big sci-fi what if we could do this together kind of thing, because that's what we've done as human beings before, and what we've been able to do to build these huge wonderful things. I mean, we sit on the foundation of that kind of work from many generations in the past trying to build something better for us. And so it just is the sad product of our more recent history that we live in this moment of short-term gains and immediacy, that it can be hurting our world, right? Because we're not really thinking about the long term. So the universe is trying to get you to start thinking about how to build this long term things for yourself, for your family, for your future. You don't even necessarily have to have a family, but for your community, for all people, right? We're getting out of the me and getting into the we energy, right? The power of we. Who's that? There's some really great groups out there talking about this kind of stuff. The Ram Dass people, the Be Here Now network, and the Be Here Now book people, right? There's a bunch of those people out there. They're great. Look them up. Really, really cool people. But they kind of talk a little bit about that, changing from me to we. I can't remember the exact quote. The power of me to the power of we, or I don't remember. Raghu Marcus. I can't remember his name. Anyway, he's a cool guy. Not that I've met him, but listen to a lot of stuff. But anyway, I think that's kind of what we're working on here a little bit, And so this strong, powerful work ethic, this is how you build a community for yourself and for others, because if you can build this long-term stamina instead of this short-term thinking, the long-term stamina, it helps you build a long-term community and people around you. And the more that you work on this, the more that you build this like beautiful thing for yourself, for everybody else around you, and it builds into your life this like really positive, heart growing, heart expanding inner place of wonder and joy and creation, and that's a really powerful thing here. I really do feel that there's this great inner resilience that you have. And so the more that you tap into that energy, I think the more that you can grow into this person who can share this love and compassion with everybody. But it takes you sharing it with yourself first here, and I think in order to be able to open this up, your number one priority has got to be, how can I build a compassionate work ethic for myself? How can I build a work environment for myself that is one that I would love to invite other people, especially, I do feel a lot of you in this reading, this is about some kind of business development here, it's like, but in order to build the right kind of business, it's like, how can I build the right kind of business I want other people to work for? What kind of business would I feel proud working for? And how can I treat myself like employee number one? Because that's what you are. You are employee number one of your business if you're starting one yourself. This is how to treat yourself like that, so that you don't burn out and you don't crash and that you don't fall off the wagon if you did before. Because you don't do it because you've built in this contingency on how to do this correct and how to do this right, on how to do this in a way that isn't gonna destroy you, but it's gonna build you up, right? So anyway, pile number one, that was a really long reading, so I'm going to leave you there. I hope that it resonates. Let me know in the comments what you think either way. I love hearing from everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. And like and subscribe to the channel. Like this video. That's really, really helpful. The likes, if you got to this point and you hear this, please do give it a like. That is how the algorithm knows to share it with more people. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and leave me a comment too. If you have the time, you do you. If you don't have the time, I understand. But you can just leave me a little star, a little heart, little emoji in any direction. I'll share some emojis back. It'll be fun, and that helps me out. Catch you later, everybody. Bye. Hi there, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. This is a reading for What Does the Universe Want You to Know? What does the universe need you to know? There's an important message here that the universe has been trying to communicate with you. What is it that the universe wants you to know? You pulled the pile with this fluorite pendant, obelisk, pyramid. I don't remember what we call this shape. Thing. Let's see. The universe needs you to know that you have so much to be proud of and so much to celebrate yourself about, and you're about to be rewarded for all of the wonderful things that have happened in your life, right? That you have so much to be proud of, and there's so many really powerful, great things that you have accomplished in your lifetime. And if you have not told yourself that lately, the universe is trying to bash you over the head with it. It's like, hey, you need to recognize just how great you are, friend. There's a real important information here, and you are not letting yourself know or feel as much of the joy and happiness that is you as a powerful, creative being in the universe. And it's time for you to really step into your own power here, because you have a lot of it. And it's time for you to embody that, because then as you embody your own power, you can then share with other people in the same sense. So let's see, what is this about? What are you getting rewarded for? You're being rewarded for taking the time to build something in your life, some aspect of your physical life where you live, your job, your health, something in your physical life. I think you've taken a long time to work on, to build, to create. And even if it doesn't feel so much like that, you could be like, I don't know about that. Is this real? No, it is real. The universe really does want you to know this, because it can be really easy sometimes for us to think like, well, it's not quite enough. Have I done enough in this? Is this really enough yet? The universe is wanting to say, no. Based on where you've come from, you've done a lot of work. You've put in a lot. Your physical world is much greater today than it was a long time ago. And it's important for you to really recognize that. It's important for you to take a moment and say, you know what? No, there are real things I have done in my life to build a sense of stability, maybe, in my life. There's something I've done in my physical world that has left me feeling good about myself. And that's great, and if things aren't, with this being the ace, if things aren't exactly where you want them to be yet, that's okay. They don't have to be there yet for you to acknowledge that you have real growth here. And I think that the more that you can start to see, really acknowledge how wonderful things are, and maybe open yourself up to some gratitude energy for it, I think the more that you can let in more, and then you build in this catapult towards building a real strong connection to this growth energy that then will continue exponentially. Yeah, definitely. I think you have put in a lot of work in a lot of areas, and with it in reverse, I think maybe it's like sometimes I think maybe you think, am I doing enough work? Have I done enough here? Is this enough? And like I was saying before, I do think it is. I think you have done enough work here. And, there's always more work. There's always more healing. There's always more, all of it, it's always more. It's always something else, right? But that's where I think it's so important to take the time to just acknowledge how things have come, because you have real positive growth in your life in certain aspects, in certain areas, and the universe is just like really wants you to acknowledge that, because it's really important to take the time to pause in life sometimes, and really really take a look and reflect, and really take the time to ask yourself, what are the things that I have done that I am proud of? And how can I share
that feeling of being proud? How can I share pride with myself? How can I take the time and actively share a sense of pride in being me? Because it can be so easy to run away from that and run away from the self and try to put our identity in the future. Well, once I do this, then I'll be okay. And once I get this, then I'll be okay. But the thing is, the future doesn't exist. The only thing that exists is right here, right now, this moment. And so the more that you put off into the future of, well, someday I'll be blah, 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 and then I'll be blah, blah, blah. The problem with that is that someday it just doesn't come, right? It's not someday. It's today. Today is the only day we have, right? And so if you don't take the time today to learn how to be proud about where you are and what's happened, then once you get to that place that you are ultimately looking to go, you won't feel proud about it. It'll feel hollow because you didn't learn how to be present in the moment in those feelings. And so the universe is trying to tell you, like, hey, you need to start building in a sense of pride for your progress here, because then the progress is not going to feel enough. And then you might even lose the momentum a little bit if you don't start to tell yourself, like, no, I am doing well. I have done enough. Look at all of these things I have done. I'm so grateful for having done this, and I'm open to doing more and letting in more and letting in more of this growth, right? Because then that's how you build it up. And that's how, if you can feel proud about it now, then you will feel so glad about it as well, right? Instead of feeling like it's not enough. And that's a really big message the universe wants to let you know, like, it is enough, and now you do have things to be proud of. And so it's important to do that. And so I think that it's like, I think that a part of where this is coming from is that maybe you have felt stuck in this journey towards abundance. And you do have ultimate abundance here for you, by the way. So that's an excellent sign. Oh my gosh. And you have ultimate happiness. Holy cow, friend. Like, you have so much. You have so much in your life. The universe is giving you so much here, right? You have both of the most fulfilling, happy, joyful, incredible cards in the entire tarot deck. So if you're not feeling that right now, that is something you need to try to open your heart to, because it is here for you, right? You have ultimate happiness, ultimate abundance, intergenerational wealth, beautiful family, like all of that kind of stuff is here for you. And even if that's just the future, I don't think so. I think it's like, no, the future is now, right? So if this is your long-term goal, I do think maybe you feel stuck about how to get here. I think maybe you're trying to get here so much and you just feel like it's not within reach. But like I said, it's like, no, today you need to celebrate the small gains. And the more that you can celebrate the small gains, the more that you allow in this energy. And that's how this comes, right? This comes from I mean, I have real problems sometimes with the manifestation people, although I love them too, because sometimes it can be really hard to be like, well, I'm just going to pretend that I have it and then I will. But like, sometimes it feels like that's what they're trying to tell you to do. But the thing about that energy, though, because I don't want to just preach things I don't necessarily believe, but I do believe it, actually. What I believe is not necessarily you're going to pretend and then it happens, but more like, the more that you can allow your day-to-day life to feel that satisfaction, the more that you can bring it into your life. Right? That's huge. The more that you can recognize where abundance is flowing in and give that area gratitude in your life, the more that becomes your subconscious focus on reality. And that because of that, it does shape your reality, but it shapes your reality not in maybe it could be a metaphysical sense. I actually do think that we can shape our reality on a metaphysical sense, but you don't have to believe that. You can think that it is just a product of the subconscious in learning how to see the small choices in life, because every single day we make choices, and all of our choices and decisions lead to effects, right? Cause and effect. That is all that life is. And so in order to get yourself on a trajectory towards these places, it takes daily telling yourself, look at how far I've come in this. I'm so proud of myself. I'm so grateful for being here in this moment. Even little tiny things, little tiny things. I'm so grateful that I took the time to brush my teeth this morning. I'm so thankful for that because look at how nice my teeth are right now. Right? It's like silly little things like that. I'm so grateful that I took the time to take a shower after work before I went to bed because look at how nice my skin feels right now, Like look at I feel so great. Everything is nice now. It's like those little tiny things that change your whole outlook on life and your entire reality towards this energy that you're trying to get in. And I think the more that you do this practice, the least stuck you feel in it. And the more you can start to feel as though there's real possibility for yourself, that you can move forward, that there is opportunity to be in a place where you can let in this happiness energy for yourself, right? Yeah, so, life is a give and a take and it's a balance. And I think that that's important to remember too. And, sometimes we're up, sometimes we're down. So the seesaw of life is going to continue. That's going to happen regardless. But the more that you can connect into yourself here and understand that, if you share this compassion and this love and this gratitude to yourself, even in the low moments, that'll help catapult you higher in the high moments, so that your seesaw starts to become an upward trend, right? There's going to be ups, there's going to be downs, but is the trend moving up? Is the trend moving down? Is the trend staying the same? I think the more that you do this kind of practice, the more you will see your trajectory moving in an upward trend. And I mean, like I said, you have ultimate happiness and ultimate abundance for you. It is yours. Everything that is for you will find you. So having the confidence and the trust in the universe to know that it is coming is really important here. Because I think the more that you learn how to do this too, I think you're going to be able to share what you learn from this journey with other people as well. And so it's really important for you to learn how to do this stuff because you're supposed to share it with others. You have the ability to share it with other people in a way that will help them and will help the world. So ultimately, I think as you start to do this kind of practice, I do see this mind shift coming for you, this opportunity to cut away that negative thinking and that thinking that nothing is possible. And you will start to see things coming and working out for you much more. I think you're going to break out of that stuck energy you might be feeling and really break into the flow of possibilities coming into your life here. Your ships are coming in. This stuff, like I said, everything that's meant for you will find you. So don't worry about it. You've got abundance and you've got happiness coming. The universe wants you to know that. So it just takes today feeling proud of yourself for all that you have accomplished, because the more that you can start to feel good about everything you have done, the more you can continue that energy and start letting it catapult you forward into your future, into the place that you're looking to go, and not living in the place you want to go, but living in the now, seeing what you've done now, seeing where things are now, being happy with where things are now. It's really important. Anyway, pile number 2, I'm going to leave you there. I hope that helps you out. I hope that the universe loves you, right? And that love is shining through in all of us, right? This inner heart energy, this loving, compassionate energy that reverberates around the universe. It's available to you at any time. If you ever need it, it is there and it is within you. It is not external to you. This tarot reading might be external to you, but the loving kindness energy of the universe exists within your own heart, and you can tap into that at any moment. Anyway, please like this video if you made it to this point. Liking it actually really, really does help, surprisingly. It helps out the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. That helps me as well. And finally, leave a comment. Yeah, go ahead and leave a comment if you want as well. That helps me out too. Anyway, guys, I'll catch you on the next reading. See you later. Bye. All right, hello, pile number three. Let's dive into your reading. We're going to look into today what specifically the universe needs you to know. What information is the universe really trying to get you to understand today? So you chose the pile here with the citrine, which is a nice sunny stone, beautiful yellow energy. What does the universe need you to know? Interesting. We got the Seven of Swords. The universe needs you to know that there might be some aspect of your life that you're not totally being completely truthful to yourself about. So there might be something you're trying to ignore or not take a look at that the universe is saying, no, look, this is something you really, really need to take a moment to take a look at here. So let's figure out what it is. What is it that you maybe are deceiving yourself about a little bit? Okay. Yep. Totally clear to me. I'm reading reversals today. I think the universe is trying to get you to understand that there are aspects of your life that you actually don't like. And I don't mean to be laughing. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the situation because it's one I know very well. You might be similar to me, the kind of person who will just keep moving forward through something, even if it's not great, without questioning it. Just like, no, I just need to get through this. I just need to get through to the next day and get through the next day. And I think a little bit of that energy, though, is coming in and saying, well, do you have to just get through to the next day? Or is there something that's actually making you feel quite stuck? Are you pretending that maybe you're not stuck, even though you are, and that you aren't happy, even though, no, you're pretending that you are happy, even though you are not happy about something, some aspect of your life. And this could be about anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be about, it could be about work. It could be about a relationship. It could be about anything, right? Any situation. There's some aspect that you're not being totally truthful to yourself about. And the universe is saying, hey, look, because you're not being so truthful to yourself, you're leading to, I mean, it very well could be, some low level depression or, something like that. Take it as it resonates for you in your life, but it could be contributing to a sense of maybe not being able to trust yourself or a lack of feeling good about yourself or your life or something. And I think that maybe on paper everything looks really great, and so because of that, it's sort of leaving you be like, well, but look at the paper. The paper says it's great. So the paper says it's great, so it's great. Look at the money or the thing or the whatever. Like it's here for me, and you know what? My own happiness doesn't matter because look at the stability it's creating, or look at the whatever. It's creating all the conditions that are supposed to be. All of my boxes are ticked off right now. So whatever, self. But ultimately it's like, yeah, but are they though? Is the satisfaction there? Is the satisfaction in life there? And that's important. It's important to give yourself that, because it's your life. You don't have to, you could find something else that fits better. There could be there could be a change, and it doesn't have to be a huge change. It doesn't have to be leaving everything behind and throwing it all away or doing whatever. It doesn't have to be that. It could just be, there could be some small shift in your life that can leave you feeling a little bit more satisfied and a little bit happier about things and less stuck. But none of that can come if you're pretending like there is no problem. And I think that's really important. That the most important thing here is step number one from the universe is saying, no, look, you really do need to acknowledge that there are aspects of your life that are making you unhappy. Because if you don't even acknowledge them, if you don't even tell yourself you're feeling stuck, you're just pretending you're not even stuck even though you are, then you're not going to come to any kind of aha moments that are necessary in order to bring in a sense of fulfillment. So it's like you're not even giving yourself the right conditions to even be able to find fulfillment if you're pretending like you're already fulfilled when you're not, right? So yeah. The universe is really, really hammering over the head to you about this. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at me. I'm laughing at the laughing at how relatable this reading is. Look, the universe is giving you a gift here. It's like, hey, look, no. Look at all these cups that you're so intent on these three cups on the ground over here, being like, no, these are where everything is. I'm happy looking at these cups. But the universe is like, no, but this is the cup that's for you. Look at, I'm trying to give this. No, just look over here. It's right here. It's not even that far away. Look at this cup is actually closer to this to this person than these three cups. So that's how close this thing is to you. This isn't some like mystery. There's no mystery here. This isn't some like big giant, oh, well, in third grade I wanted to be a ballerina, so now I have to, throw away my job to join a dance studio. Right? No, not necessarily. I mean, I don't know. Maybe take that as it resonates, but it could be more like, oh, I love dance and there's no movement in my life, so I'm going to start taking a dance class 2 hours a week. I'm going to play more YouTube videos of free movement and dance more, just like once a day, because I realize, oh, hey, dance is really important to me and I need to put it back into my life. Maybe I should do more dancing. That's to me as an aside. I don't know. I do love to dance. It's been a long time, but that's not for me. But it might be for you. I don't know. But whatever, right? Like, it doesn't even have to be huge. That doesn't have to be, you don't have to throw these cups away. It's just like the universe is like, no, take this one too, like take this one too. So it's like, the first step, though, is to realize you're not happy, right? Because then you're not even going to think about, okay, well, what little tiny changes can I make? Because it could be this big thing where it's like, oh no, I think I have to change everything. And if I let myself think I'm not happy, then I'm going to have to change everything and I can't change everything. Well, maybe you don't have to change everything. Maybe you can acknowledge that you're not happy and implement one change that can make you a little bit happier. And then that little bit of happiness can be one small movement, and you can take about 10,000 small movements towards your happiness instead of one huge giant cataclysmic thing that maybe will be happy, maybe won't be happy. Yeah. I mean, I will say though, there is definitely energy of walking away from something in this reading. So that's important to acknowledge. There is an aspect of this reading that is encouraging you to move on from something, right? To move on from chaotic waters to calmer waters. So just keep that in mind. I don't know what that is. That is for you. You know what this reading is about more than I do. Obviously, this is your reading for you. But take it as it resonates. Like I said, it doesn't have to be huge. But there does need to be compassion for yourself here with the Queen of Cups. And that's, I think, one of the most important things. And that might be what the universe is trying to give you, is a self-compassion. Because if you're pretending like everything is fine, what message is that sending to the self? You're kind of telling your heart and your inner being that it doesn't matter, that what matters is the paper, and your own inner being doesn't matter. And, that kind of message, when you reinforce that inside over and over again, like, that's really soul crushing. And it can be really difficult. You can't, can't is a strong word. It's harder to find happiness and fulfillment if you don't trust yourself, and you don't let yourself understand what it is you really need for your own happiness, right? So ultimately, you got a lot of abundant energy, which is really good to know here. So if there is any kind of like, oh, well, what if I leave my job and I don't have enough money? The universe is like, no, money is not really an issue here. Money is not an issue for you. It's not an issue, right? You have the Wheel of Fortune. Like, fortune is on your side. There's great, positive, wonderful things out there for you. So let yourself feel that. Let yourself bring that into your life here. The Wheel of Fortune is in your favor. Look at this angel with a book. I don't know why I've never looked at her. She's giving you a book here. Like, hey, it's time to learn. It's time to learn that you can you can do it. You can do it. Whatever this thing is that you want, you can do it. You're smart. You're deeply smart. You're very intelligent. Trust yourself. This is a big thing. It's like, trust yourself to be able to do something huge here, because you have the power to do this. You have the power to bring this in. And with the King of Pentacles coming in too, it's saying like, the money's going to come. The money's going to flow. The money's going to flow towards the thing that you really want. So don't think that by by choosing your heart, you're giving up the money, because no, the money is here. The money's probably more than whatever it is you're making right now. And with the Ace of Swords is like, yeah, you could cut it away. You can cut it away. Whatever it is, you can. But obviously, act from a place where you're feeling stable first. I'm not telling you to throw your whole life away and maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. You got to figure that out for yourself here. But I do think that there's a way to move that leads to fulfillment and money and possibilities and fortune and all of this stuff. So, ultimately, yeah, you're being encouraged to take the reins of your life here. Flip that emperor from upside down to being the emperor of your own life. It's really important. And the first step to doing that is really acknowledging how you're feeling. If you're not feeling good, you have to tell yourself that. You have to tell yourself that. You have to let yourself feel what you're feeling. You can't pretend like it's not happening, because it's not going to go away. It's only going to get worse if you don't. But you are the emperor of your own life. You are in the reins. You are in the driver's seat. You can make anything happen for yourself that you need to. So remember that. Remember that you can make anything happen. Pile number 3, I'm going to leave you there tonight. I hope that reading resonates with you. I hope that wasn't too tough of a message. Sometimes these messages can be a little bit hard to hear. So if that was hard to hear, I'm sorry. Hope you liked it. Let me know in the comments what you think either way. I love hearing from everybody. Even if you just leave an emoji, it helps the algorithms out a little bit. So you leave one, I'll leave one back. Give this video a like as well, and subscribe to the channel for more content. That also helps me out. I'll catch you all later. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.